Hello and welcome back to A to B with Parkour UK. Today I'm sat here with Simon from our workforce team, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the level 1 coaching journey, sort of answering some frequently asked questions about the course itself. You can also check out any of our other podcasts that have been coming out recently that talk a little bit more about the rest of the coaching courses that we run and a little bit more information about them as well. So Simon, hello. To get started, if I was to message Parkour UK regarding my coaching journey, what resources are available to me for the level 1 course before the course starts, during the course, and then post-course as well?
Yeah, so basically when you're interested in the course, if you go onto the website, and obviously you can email us or get in touch with us to find out a little bit more information. But resources on the website, when you go to actually book, there's a list of what the content of the entire level 1 actually is. So all the different modules and how that breaks down. So there's plenty of online resources where you can find out more about the course itself. And then, as I say, you can also get in touch with us and we can give you a little bit more of a breakdown of how that works. When you're actually taking part in the course, there is also a course workbook that you will get, that you will work through obviously as you're doing the course and practicing. After the course as well, there's all the toolkits and all sorts of different things available via the website. They'll give you lots more information on loads of the topics that you touch on during the course, and also other ways to help develop and grow your coaching from there.
With the level 1 course, what is the split between written theory, sat down learning, and like moving and coaching or physical elements?
So the level 1 is much more theoretical orientated. There is a physical element to it. That's much more sort of end of the day challenges and that kind of stuff. So it's not hugely challenging. It's aimed at being a little bit more accessible and allowing some of those that might not necessarily have the same physical capabilities within parkour to still get involved as a coach as well. So yeah, it's much more split and weighted towards that theoretical side.
How intense are the courses? So the level 1 course, how intense is it in terms of like the amount of sat down learning? Is it a lot of information to sort of learn and divulge? And is there sort of the opportunity to ask questions about that knowledge as well?
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities to ask questions. The course itself is 3 days long in terms of the parkour element of it, and there's obviously a day in advance of that is first aid. But the 3-day course itself is 2 days of learning and then a day that's assessment. And during those 2 days, there's lots of opportunities to ask questions, sit down, go through workbooks and all sorts of things like that with the tutors. They have a really good depth of knowledge within the subject. So you can always kind of take that time to find out more and ask those kind of questions there.
So on the final day where you have like your end of sort of course assessment, how is it graded? Sort of what are the things that need to be sort of considered? Is it all graded via sort of how you coach, or is there like a written element, or is there like a questionnaire or a multiple choice question or anything like that?
So there's 2 different elements to it. There's the multiple choice questionnaire, which is the written assessment. So you'll sit and work through that on the day. And then there's also the practical assessment as well, which is much more looking at how you coach. And with those as well, if you were to not pass those, there will be the opportunity to kind of defer those and work on certain areas. So if there's something that you need to work on, we can work with you to make sure that you improve the knowledge on that and you can resit the assessments at a later date.
How many people are on a course? What's like the maximum numbers, and how many numbers does the course need to run?
So we generally work off a maximum of 16 and then a minimum of 6. So it's quite a wide range there. You can end up with quite a few people on the course. If we had any less than 6, it wouldn't really be that good for anyone as an actual learner to come in and into that environment and try and learn and try and coach. It's much better if there's more people there.
And sort of when it comes to sort of booking the courses, how far in advance is the bookings open to when the course starts?
So basically, we'll put at the beginning of the year, we'll put a calendar out that is all of our level 1 courses, all of our level 1 and level 2 courses. This year is the first year that we've done that, so we'll be doing that going forwards. And essentially, you can book that as early as you want, and we'd encourage people to book it as early as you possibly can, because that just ensures that there will be plenty of people booked onto the courses, and we know that we'll be able to run them right the way through the year as well. And bookings normally close 2 weeks before the course itself starts, and that just allows us time to go through all the admin that we need to go through and get everything sorted like that. But yeah, definitely would encourage you to book on as early as you can if we've got those courses up right at the start of the year.
And what is the cost of a level 1 course?
So a level 1 course itself, the parkour element, is £375. On top of that, you do potentially have the cost of a first aid course and safeguarding. So if you have already got a safeguarding certificate or a first aid certificate, and you can prove that to us, like you can provide us with a copy of the certificate or something like that, you won't have to sit those. The first aid is normally the first day of the course as well. So the course is normally 4 days in total with the first aid. But if you hold that certificate, you won't have to do that. And then also the safeguarding is entirely online as well. The safeguarding, I believe, is £65, and the first aid £35, or the other way around. So in total, if you have to do those as well, it would be £475.
And finally, just before we sort of wrap up regarding the level 1, it's probably a question that a lot of people have but probably don't like to vocalize, is what if they weren't successful in their first attempt at the course, whether that be like the coaching aspect of it, or maybe the multiple choice questionnaire. What support is available to them from Parkour UK that we can offer them going forward?
Yeah, the first thing to say is like not to worry. So if you're not successful, don't panic or anything like that. You'll be deferred basically, and the tutors will speak to us, and we'll obviously be in touch with you. And what we'll do is we'll work out what it is that you need to work on, exactly what that element is, how we can help support that, and then just make sure that we get you kind of perhaps booked onto an assessment day on another course. So sometimes if you have to redo your practical assessment, if we've got another level 1 coming up later on in the year or a couple of months later, we'll see if we can get you onto just the final day of that to go in and sit your assessment, and similar with your multiple choice as well. So yeah, the key thing is don't worry, don't panic if you're not successful, just talk to us and we'll be able to sort that for you.
And that's, something that we'll be able to do, once the course is run, but also, if you do have any further questions, you can reach out to any member of the Parkour UK team. You can email the info@parkour.uk email, or go onto the website and find like the relevant emails for the team members, and we'll be able to sort of put you in touch with the right person to answer that inquiry, to kind of alleviate any like worries or concerns. Just before we wrap up, is there any like final things you want to say about the level 1?
Yeah, just really, it's a really good way for you to make your first step into coaching. Don't be daunted by going in and doing that coaching and trying to get involved in that qualification as well. It seems like there might be a lot of work committing yourself to 3 or 4 days of the actual course itself, and then the hours that you have to do after that, the 6 hours coaching that you have to get signed off. But it's a great stepping stone into becoming a parkour coach. So don't let that put you off, and get yourself booked in as quickly as you can.
Awesome. We do, like Simon mentioned in this episode, we do release the sort of yearly schedule calendar for all the upcoming courses. That will be linked in the description of this podcast. If you are looking to book onto a course later on this year, you are obviously more than welcome to. All the links will be down below. And again, if there are sort of any questions, queries or concerns, just reach out to us and ask us the question. At the end of the day, we're here to help, and we want as many of our sort of coaches and learners to be as successful as possible. So any way that we can kind of help and support with that, we will. You can reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. Obviously, the Instagram is at Parkour UK as well. Like I mentioned, all the emails and stuff is on the website for you to get in contact with any of the team, or just email the info@email, and we'll be able to kind of put you in touch with the right person. Cool. Thanks very much, Dan.
Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Goodbye.